This is really a great item if you are a van dweller or any kind of camper, or even if you have a converted school bus or a converted box truck, anything where you are either working on solar or reserving your solar for your batteries, or you don't even have solar and you live without power many times. A car dweller, a van dweller. This is great. And I like that it's got the locking feature, because then you can flip it over and cook both sides easily. Wouldn't you like to have one of these? Watch my video all the way to the end and I'll tell you how you can have one as a Christmas present from me. Hey Ketosians, hey my keto friends, it is the Keto Nomad here. And remember when I made the pumpkin pie chaffles and I tweaked the recipe and changed it a little bit from the Serious Keto channel? And well, anyway, I froze my little things in the ice tray just like he showed on his YouTube channel. So now I am going to use 2 of them and make pumpkin pie truffles tomorrow from these frozen keto squares. These frozen pumpkin pie squares. Well, it's tomorrow. Hi everybody. Thanks for coming back or staying tuned. And there's going to be a giveaway at the very end of this video while you are watching this premiere. So be part of the chat and talk to us. Let me know you're out there. Let's have a conversation. So basically, I'm using my little food processor and I'm putting the ingredients in there for the waffle part of the truffle. And I will be adding my 2 pumpkin pie squares, which are each a tablespoon, also into this mixture. But first I'm going to blend up my mozzarella cheese, baking soda, some brown sugar, coconut flour, a little bit of cinnamon, okay? And I'm going to blend that up in my food processor until it looks like breadcrumbs. And here's the ingredients. Once I blend it in the food processor and it looks like breadcrumbs, I'll add the egg and the sour cream, etc. And we'll blend that all up so it's ready to make truffles. I'm using my little portable Toastmaster food processor, but it does have to get plugged in. But it works great, but it's only 1.5 cups, just perfect for me. And this will make me 2 or 3 truffles, depending on how big I want them to be. I could probably put a little more in here, but I'm not going to today. Now, instead of using my truffle maker, my little truffle maker, I'm going to use this new waffle maker that I just received today in the mail from Amazon that I ordered. And it makes 2 waffles at a time, or 2 truffles, whatever you want to call them. I'm going to just remix and give a couple of blends here to my pumpkin batter before I put it on the waffle maker. And what's nice about this waffle maker is that you can submerge it in the water and wash it without worrying about a plug, because it doesn't have one. You can cook right on top of your stove. Now here we go. I'm going to cook, and then you flip it over and get the other side. So it also has a lock. I can lock the handle. But you do have to be careful because part of the handle is plastic. So beware when you're using it on your camp stove or on your outside, or on your camp stove, inside your gas stove. You can use it over your charcoals. But again, remember, there is a little plastic on the end of this handle. But it still works on the stovetop. You just had to watch it. Yum, yum, here it goes. I made 3 truffles out of it because I should have spread my batter around a little bit more. But they are really good and they turned out great. One I put butter on and the other one I put whipped cream. But it was a little hot and I really couldn't pick it up with my fingers. This is a great item when you don't have an outlet, or you're camping in the middle of nowhere. You live in your van and you got a camp stove inside your van or your camper, your box truck, whatever you choose, or your tent, or just to cook outside. It works perfectly. I like it a lot. It's a go. Okay, so my recipe that I'm going to make today calls for 2 ounces of cream cheese. And what's nice about this Walmart brand, I don't, maybe it's on, it might be on Philadelphia, I don't know. The Great Value 2-pack from Walmart is that you know where to cut. And also, we're going to use 2 ounces, so it'll be 4 carbs of the cream cheese in this recipe. While the cheese is softening at room temperature, we're going to also pull out our 2 eggs. We're only making half a batch on this recipe. The full batch calls for 4 eggs and 4 ounces. So we're only doing 2 ounces of cream cheese. We're going to do 2 eggs instead of 4. And we're going to blend up these ingredients in my BlendJet blender. Yep, it's a portable blender that you can charge it up with a USB port and then unplug it. And when I don't have power, I still have a blender. I can mix smoothies, I can mix pancakes, I can mix whatever I need. I'm excited about this. So we're going to put the 2 eggs and the cream cheese on the side and let that get to room temperature before we start blending. We always want to make sure we put the wet ingredients in the blender first, because otherwise it'll get all clogged up. So we'll put our eggs in first before we put our cream cheese or anything else in, okay? But next we're going to put our almond flour. So I've measured out the almond flour and it calls for 3/4 of a cup, which comes out to 1/4 of a cup and 2 tablespoons if you cut it in half, since I'm doing a half batch. So I've got that already. I have it in a bowl on the side. And also then it calls for some almond milk. Now I don't have almond milk in my house, but I have checked online. And did you know you can dilute your heavy whipping cream if you need to use milk and make it into milk by just diluting it? So I diluted the heavy whipping cream and I used 1/8 of a cup of the whipping cream and 1/8 of a cup of water, which make it into my 1/4 of a cup that I need for this recipe. And then the sweetener, I'm using monk fruit and erythritol. I never pronounce it right, but we're going to say sweetener. And I'm using that, and I measured out too much here, but half of it is 1 tablespoon. We're going to put that in. So I did change a few things from the original recipe from the Keto Kitchen. I ended up using half batches, and I used heavy whipping cream instead of almond milk. And also my last ingredient that I added on my own was, because of my flavoring, was vanilla extract. I wanted to add a little vanilla extract in there. And let me tell you something, it was great that I did, because and that along with the sweetener really made this crepe very, very sweet, which is not normally what you would use when you're making Manicotti. Yes, I'm making Manicotti, an Italian dish, using this crepe. There is a way to make a sweet Manicotti, and that would be by adding cinnamon and sugar. You blend it up and then add that to the cheese. But we're not going to do that today because we're already sweet. But here we go. We're going to try this little sucker out. There it goes. Noisy little booger, huh? When you're making Manicotti, it's an assembly line if you're making your own crepes. And you have to have everything ready. And that's what I'm making today. So I'll show you how to make the crepes, and as we fry the crepes and fill them, you can see how I made the formula for the crepes. But now I'm ready, because I'm going to make the crepe. I'm going to put it in the pan, in the Pyrex dish. I'm going to put the filling in it, close the crepe up, and top it with Raos homemade pizza sauce. It's only 3 carbs per 1/4 cup. And I'll probably use a total of a 1/2 cup, maybe a little bit more. Okay, then we're using ricotta cheese, which I already used. Usually I use 1 egg for 1 pound of cheese, but I'm not making that much. So I took and I made, I blended up 1 egg and I only used half of it. So that's so that the cheese sticks together and doesn't get runny. Okay, you need something to keep the cheese together. And then we'll top it with mozzarella cheese and some of the Raos Pizza Sauce. Okay, so first I'm going to go ahead and make the crepes. I got my pan heating up, and I'll show you as it goes. Because this crepe is made with almond flour and not regular flour, it's done a little differently. It's going to take a few tries. I made a few bad crepes, but I'm going to get it right here. So I went ahead and I switched to my smaller pan that I usually use for my Manicotti shells that are non-keto. And I spoon in 5 of these teaspoons into the pan. I have sprayed it with Pam, or not Pam, but Carlini olive oil spray. The recipe says you could use butter or olive oil. Normally I would only cook one side of the crepe so that the other side remains sticky when I fill it, so that it closes real nicely. But it wasn't working for me that way, so I went ahead and flipped it over and cooked both sides. This one's a little bigger. I don't know that I'll be able to flip that over that easily, but we'll see, because the almond flour is much different than regular flour in texture when you're making a crepe. But I'll tell you what, I messed one up, obviously, over here, and oh, it is so good. I tasted it. Oh, yum. And I'm so glad I put the vanilla extract in there, because it really made a big difference. Well, I don't know, I didn't taste it without it, but yummy. It's so good. It's like pancakes. I mean, it doesn't really taste like a crepe per se, but it tastes like a pancake. So I'm interested to see how these are going to turn out. This Manicotti's going to turn out. I am going to use my oven today to cook the ricotta cheese inside the crepe. I do have a toaster oven that I'm going to use. Here's my toaster oven, since I have power today. Now, I would not normally make this, but I would probably make this in my Dutch oven. This one is much thinner, and it's bigger, and I only cooked one side. I was able to lift it out of the pan with my fingers, with my hands, which is, I like that. And we'll see how this one, and I can put more filling in this one and make it longer. And we'll see how this one works. Oops. But if you could see that, you got to be, they're very delicate. Oops. Very delicate. So we'll bring this one over this way instead of the other way, and see if I can get this one to go over this way. And I'll maneuver it into place. There we go. So I've got all different sizes here, but this is the first time, and each time you do it, it looks better. Like this one looks really good. I loosen it up a little bit along the edges, because actually I'm getting the knack of it now with this mixture. Probably be able to lift this up with my fingers, just like I did on the last one, and place it in my dish. But we're not going to waste the other ones. We're not going to waste the other ones. See? Look at that. Here we go. I got it by the hand. So each one is getting a little bit better. Because I want to make sure that there's a little sauce on the bottom. I call it gravy, so that it doesn't stick. So the Manicotti shell doesn't, stick to the plate when it's served. We're going to fill this one. Wow, that one turned out really nice. These last two, really nice. The other little ones, we're still going to eat them. I can fit one more small one right in here, or a longer one, and I can put this on top. And I think I'm going to do that. If I can make one more longer one, and I'm going to put this one just on top, because we could still eat that. No, not going to waste it. We're going to still top it with cheese and eat those. For one more in my bowl, and we'll make one more crepe. Bad, they're just like, I had a hard time folding them because they started to fall apart. But these three here are perfect, and we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna dress them all up and put them in the oven at 350. And it's kind of like, you know, I'm Italian, we eyeball things, so I can't tell you how long it'll be in there. The inside of the cheese is gonna cook, the egg will cook, keep it together, and then the cheese will melt on the top. Hang on while I dress it up. We're going to put some mozzarella cheese on there, and we're going to put some the red gravy on there, and bacon. Okay, those little bitty ones are over there, but the three really nice ones are here, and they're covered in mozzarella cheese and some Raos homemade pizza sauce, which is only 3 grams of carbs. Less than your sauce that you use on, which I call it, less than the gravy you would use on your pasta or use for pasta. This pizza one is less. Let's put it in the oven. I'm going to cover it with foil and put it in the oven. Okay, it's in the toaster oven on bake for 350. Okay, don't burn yourself. Oh, and use your pot holders. Speaking of pot holders, aren't these adorable? My granddaughter made me these. This is my older one, and this is the new one that she just made me when I was home for Christmas. In fact, we made it together because I needed another one. They're just my size. Oh, ooh, yum. There you go. Normally, as I started to say, as a nomad, I would eat on a paper plate. You feel good to have a regular plate. Let's test this bad boy. It looks meatballs or Italian sausage with this dish. This crepe, which is a great recipe that I got from the Keto Kitchen. Watch them on YouTube, Keto Kitchen. Like I said, though, I did add vanilla extract to the recipe, and I think it really made a difference on how it tastes. Consistency of the cheese is really nice. Let's see. Yum. It's so good. Oh my gosh, this is really good. This, I could have Manicotti and not worry about it on keto. When you're Italian, I grew up having some kind of pasta every single Sunday. Something. And this would fulfill that. The only thing is, you know, it's like a rule, you have to have bread and butter with your macaroni. But I can live without bread and butter. You know? Because this is really good. And gosh, I'm going to have to make this again. Maybe I'll make this for my Christmas dinner. You know? What do you guys think that are watching on my premiere? This is really good. And it's keto, low carb. Keto, low carb. It's pretty much all cheese and a little bit of almond flour and some monk fruit sweetener. Yum. You know, I had not eaten all day, so this really hit the spot. And it's not too many carbs for me because I only had one meal today. So hey, you guys, everybody, thanks for watching. Are you ready for the Christmas subscriber gift giveaway? I hope you stay long enough. I'm going to be giving away 2 items. The first item is going to be the waffle chaffle, 2 waffle chaffle maker that you use on top of the stove that I had in the beginning of the video. Yes. And I have 2 of those to give away to 2 lucky subscribers that are watching here right now. So if you're not watching right now and you're watching the replay of this, then you wouldn't be eligible for the giveaway. So if you're watching my video, I am going to ask you to make a comment below in this chat. It needs to be hashtag stovetop. STOVETOP. One word. Make it one word. Hashtag stovetop. Okay? And that is going to be for the stovetop. Wow, look at that. It still looks so good. If you're not interested in the stovetop, but you are interested in this next gift, then put in hashtag chaffle, CHAFFLE. Hashtag chaffle, CHAFFLE. If you're interested in this nostalgia chaffle maker that you plug in, it's a single chaffle maker, then put hashtag chaffle, CHAFFLE, in a comment below in this live chat. This is only for live chat stuff if you're watching this live with me right now. So if you want the chaffle maker, it's hashtag chaffle. And if you're interested in the stovetop waffle maker, hashtag stovetop. Okay, everybody, I am going to run the app now. So I hope everybody has it in there. And I'm still commenting underneath in the chatting section, in the live chat section. Hope you're still here, because you have to be here to win. Okay, everybody, I'm going to go ahead and put the app in motion. And I hope you put your choice down below. Hashtag stovetop or hashtag chaffle in your comment in the live chat, because that's where the app is going to make the selection from. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put the app in motion, and when I know the winners, I will write them and post them in my chat. So look for my comment to tell you who the winner is, and once I announce the winner, then that winner needs to contact me by email to my RV Rebel Girl at rvrebelgals.com. I'm going to write it right across here, RV Rebel Girl at rvrebelgals.com. Okay? And good luck to anybody who's interested in the 2 giveaway Christmas presents from me. Merry Christmas, and hang on tight. Here we go. Well, while I'm doing this, why don't you just go ahead and talk between yous and decide, talk to each other and wish everybody, or whatever. Chit chat, chit chat, chit chat. Blah, 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 blah. Okay? Actually, while I'm talking, I'm running the app. Okay? Because this is pre-recorded. So I won't be announcing the winners because it's already pre-recorded. I won't be saying it on here, but I will say it below. And we can still chat. You could chat for a couple minutes after this video stops. Thanks for watching my video. Please remember to subscribe and click on the like and watch my original channel, RV Rebel Girl, where I take you along on my journeys. I appreciate it. And thanks for subscribing, and thanks for watching The Keto Nomad.